Peace, fam. This is Brother Harold from HarkTheHerald.com. Back with another reaction video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And once again, we're going to get right into it.
Investors cannot catch a break. U.S. President Donald Trump's relentless assault on global stock markets continues. Stocks across the board crashed again today, and it was worse than last week. It is being called a Black Monday. Panic has swept through the markets from Mumbai to Tokyo. In India, the Sensex crashed over 2,200 points, and the Nifty fell by over 3%, below the 22,200 mark.
See, it ain't just America. It's every country. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has warned America and the world for decades, and the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad before him, decades, warned what would happen, what was going to happen if America and the world did not heed the guidance of the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Everything that they said that was going to happen is happening. And has happened. And it's going to only get worse. You can no longer rely on politics and politicians. Not that you ever could rely on them. They don't have an answer or a solution to what is going on. There's only one person on this planet left that has a solution, and that's the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's the man of God that is in our midst. He's the voice of God that is in our midst. You can take that or let it alone. But he told us of everything that has happened right now, that it was going to happen before it even happened. He gave guidance to try to prevent or to slow or to curb or to check what is going on and keep it from taking place. Didn't heed the warning. Go back and search in our archives. Look in the final calls, message to the black man, the fall of America, the torchlight of America. Go back and listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's lectures. All his old lectures. Told us. Didn't listen.
In one day, investors have lost over 13 lakh crore rupees in India. That's around $150 billion. This money has vanished from the Bombay Stock Exchange alone. Needless to say, the sell-off was brutal. Every sector was in the red, deep in the red. It's the same story across Asia. Tokyo's Nikkei dropped by over 8%. Taiwan's TAIEX fell by almost 10%. In both markets, the circuit breaker was triggered. What is the circuit breaker? If the stock prices rally or fall way too quickly, the markets hit a pause button. This gives a moment to all investors to calm down and think before making any decisions. Today, markets in Japan and Taiwan hit the bottom circuit, meaning they crashed hard and they crashed way too fast. So trading had to be suspended to stop further panic selling. In Hong Kong, things were equally bad. Their stock market is called the Hang Seng. It suffered its steepest decline since 1997. We're talking about a slump of 13%. It was so bad that China's sovereign wealth fund had to intervene. They bought shares to stabilize the market. The picture looks quite scary. There is panic and fear. It has all been triggered by Donald Trump, by his sweeping tariffs on U.S. trade partners. Over the weekend, Trump doubled down on his plan.
What's going to happen with the market, I can't tell you, but I can tell you our country has gotten a lot stronger. And eventually, it'll be a country like no other. It'll be the most dominant country economically in the world.
Trump's tariffs have hit everyone, America's allies and adversaries. But it is Asia that is suffering the most, it seems. And that's because Asia is a major manufacturing hub. Its economy depends on exports to the US. Trump has placed some of the highest tariffs on this region. Just look at the rates. Japan and South Korea face 26% duties. India, again, 26%. Thailand, 36%. Vietnam, 46%. Cambodia, 49%. And China, a whopping 54% tariffs. So clearly, Asia is bearing the brunt. Its economies are under intense pressure, but Americans will feel the pain too. US investors are sounding an alarm. A recession looks increasingly likely. America's top banks are giving ominous predictions. The latest one to do so is Goldman Sachs. It says there's a 45% chance of a recession. Last week, JP Morgan had revised its forecast. It raised the possibility of a recession to 60%. And both these banks have blamed the Trump tariffs for this state of affairs. They've termed it a risk to the US economy. Of course, the US president disagrees. He calls the tariffs a medicine which the US economy must take. His Treasury Secretary has also defended the tariffs.
Mr. Secretary, how difficult is it going to be? And how long are Americans going to have to hang tough?
Well, again, I reject that assumption. There doesn't have to be a recession. Who knows how the market is going to react in a day, in a week? What we're looking at is building the long-term economic fundamentals for prosperity that I think the previous administration had put us on the course toward financial calamity.
But investors are starting to push back. One of them is Bill Ackman, the billionaire hedge fund manager. This is a man who had backed Donald Trump. He agreed that global trade needs to be rebalanced, but now he feels that Trump has gone too far. He is calling for a 90-day pause on the tariff plan, or a timeout, as he called it. Ackman believes US trade partners should use this window. They should negotiate deals with the Trump administration. Otherwise, the fallout could be severe. In fact, let me quote Ackman. If, on the other hand, on April 9th, we launch economic nuclear war on every country in the world, business investment will grind to a halt. Consumers will close their wallets and pocketbooks, and we will severely damage our reputation with the rest of the world. That will take years and potentially decades to rehabilitate. Jamie Dimon has echoed Bill Ackman's concerns. Jamie Dimon is the chairman of JP Morgan Chase. It is America's biggest bank. Dimon says the tariffs would, and I'm quoting again, push up prices for Americans. So basically, Wall Street is calling for restraint. Only a climb down by President Trump would calm the markets. The question is, will he consider it? Reports say Trump could be mulling a 90-day pause in these tariffs. All countries except China could get this temporary reprieve, a 90-day pause. Basically, Trump would delay the tariffs. That's what the report said. The markets heaved a sigh of relief, but then the White House issued a statement calling these reports fake news. And on cue, the markets fell again. We're talking about the US markets. They opened just a few hours back and they remain volatile. In fact, since Trump's tariff announcement, US stocks have lost over $6 trillion in market value. The Trump presidency is not working out for Wall Street at all. Since Inauguration Day in January, since Donald Trump's inauguration as president, US stocks have lost a record $11 trillion in value. $11 trillion. Europe, too, is mirroring Asia's losses. Germany's DAX, France's CAC, and UK's FTSE 100, all of them fell by over 5% today. You see, markets need a semblance of certainty and continuity. But this is a shake-up of seismic proportions. No wonder there's hysteria. And it's far from over. If Donald Trump stays the course, the worst may be yet to come.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
Peace, fam. Leave your thoughts in the comment. Tell me what you think. Let's have a discussion. Leave you that came in peace. And once again, remember to please like, subscribe, and also share.